Hi, good morning, everybody, on a chilled Saturday morning here in New York. I'm going to give you a brief demo on some of the basics of MaxQDA. At the outset, I would like to tell you that, like many of my esteemed peers, I also haven't used it before and tried to have a preliminary understanding of it in last couple of days. However, I can affirm that it's a very interesting software and with some of the very cool features. Having said that, let me see what we can do with it. So, the very first step with MaxQDA is to create a new project, which I have just done. So you can see the name of this assignment, name of this project, assignment mixed methods week 11. And the very first step after creating a project is to import documents into MaxQDA. You can import, as you can see, you can import text, you can import PDF, tables, spreadsheets, you can also import transcripts, focus groups transcripts, you can also import images, audios, videos, and you can also import media files and also import from Twitters also. That's very interesting. So let us import some standard document. So already I have created some dummy interview data. Basically, I've taken these from some of our old um, uh, interviews which were required to be taken in as a part of our course curriculum. So we can go one by one or we can import them together. So let's import them together. So by the time the data is getting imported, it will take a little bit of time. Let me tell you that we have four window screen here in MaxQDA, which is very important to know. One here on the left side, we can organize the data. Then here down, we can on the left side, we can manage the categories and codes, which we'll see in a moment. Here in the middle screen, we can view and code the data, which is the most important aspect of this MaxQDA. And here on the right side, we can retrieve the segments, the coded segments, which we'll see in a moment. So once we have imported the data, we can create new groups. We can have focus groups, we can have interviews, we can have surveys within the mixed method design. So in order to organize the data properly, let us create a group. So let us create a group interviews. So this is the group we have created. And so the way to move them is we can just drag and drop it, or the other way of moving it is like this one. So you can move all of them together, move activated documents here. So we have activated all the documents and moved them all at a time. So all the interviews are within the interview group folder. So this is a good way to organize the data. Now once the data is imported here, now we can code the data. So coding is one of the very interesting feature of this software. So in order to code the data, what we can do is we can select some part of it. Like here is an important area where the participant is telling about the problem of the English language learners. So after you highlight it, you create a new code. So the new code, you give a color of the code. So we have given a color. Now here is about the uh, ELL with disabilities. So this is the code given. Let us try to see if we can get another code. Okay, so here is the special literacy needs of the students. So we give another code name. So let us give it a different color, for example this one, and then special literacy needs. So ELL with special literacy needs. Okay, so we have two codes, for example, and now another thing what we can do over here is okay, Let us now go for that one. So here we can uh, okay, so here we can give some weight to the code. So we can weigh our codes in a Likert scale, for example, from 1 to 5. Let us give, we all know about the Likert scale and how the weights are assigned to the codes. So I'm not explaining that in this short video presentation. So say, for example, we give a weight of 3 over here, and then here also we can also add comment over here. Say, for example, here we want to add a comment on disabled students or inclusivity, inclusiveness, something, just for example. So inclusiveness. So this is another code. So we have created two codes, and you can see once you have created the codes, they are reflected over here. So we have two codes in the documents, we have two codes in the document. So these are reflected over here. And now once the codes are created, then an important thing what we can do now is that okay, so now what we can do is we can see how we can retrieve these codes over here. So in order to do that, we have to activate the interviews. We have to activate the interview, and then we have to activate the codes. And you see that the codes are reflected over there. And we can also activate over here. So likewise, we can activate the codes on the right hand side. And so this is a very rudimentary way of importing the data. But if you want to import a huge set of data, then there is another way of importing, that is through the data editor for document variables. So we can see the way, and we can go on. If there are 400 interviews or 500 interviews like that, we can go adding the interviews in this way, and we can go and assign codes in this way. So this is a very important feature of uh, MaxQDA. And then there is another cool feature. We can visualize them. For example, this is a visual tool where, for example, we can have a code line. Now, this code line is a very cool feature. So only for uh, activated cores, if we see this, it will show you. Okay, so see, so the cores are there in line number 16. It is saying so in a very big interviews where we have assigned the cores and where are those important cores, we can get it from here. So let's see line number 16. Let us remember and see whether it is true. See, the cores are in line number 16. So that's the important feature of code line. And then in the visual tools, we have word cloud. So say, for example, in this interview, if we click the word cloud, insert activated documents, say, for example, this one with Tina interview, see. So these are the words. So this feature will tell you that which word is used to, I mean, this word cloud is used to visualize the most common words used in a text or in an interview. So from here, the larger one, the, for example, is a very that. These are used more often than the smaller ones. So that's a very cool feature which will tell you that which words are repeating in an interview, and if you are looking for a particular keyword during an interview, this word cloud will give you a sense of what is being repeated again and again in an interview. So that's a feature of that. And then what we can do is so that's all about the coding, and we can go on with this coding, and we can do some visualization tools. We can do some analysis also over here. We can add some memos. So some of the analysis we can do, there are a lot of analysis what we can do over here. Uh, uh, and, and and that is the most important part of it. And also another feature is that we can export all these documents. Finally, we can print it from here. We can print the document, we can print it, and we can retrieve all the documents from here, and we can do all the coding part from here. So For the time being, that's it. Thank you very much. There are a lot of other features also.